Hi, we're back in our favorite country, Japan, but this time we've chosen Osaka and the nearby cities. Join us in our Osaka adventure. Lumipad kami via Vietnam Airlines, so we stopped by Ho Chi Minh for an hour and a half before getting to Kansai International Airport. Schedule about an hour as soon as you get out of the plane to the immigration and the luggage pickup kasi always mahaba yung pila sa Kansai International Airport. We booked the Nankai Rapid Express ticket to and from Kansai and Namba via Klook kasi that's where our hotel is located. It was a good 35 to 40 minutes travel time din and very comfortable siya with luggage provision din. Our hotel is 10 to 12 minutes walk from the Namba station, but since we took a night flight with an arrival in the early morning, we weren't allowed to check in yet. So we decided to explore the hotel's neighborhood and the Dotonbori kahit close pa yung ibang stores kasi they open at 11 to 11:30 a.m. We were actually targeting the Ichiran Ramen as our first order of business here in Osaka. Sobrang namiss namin yung rich broth ng Ichiran and yung sobrang tender and tasty na chashu pork in it. Kaya kahit 1 hour sa pila, pinush pa rin namin dito. When we checked the temperature before we packed, it was 17 degrees Celsius. But when we arrived, the temperatures dropped to 4 degrees, so medyo naloka kami sa lamig. Guys, may isa pa palang branch ng Ichiran facing the Dotonbori River and yung famous na takoyaki katabi niya and the 10 yen pancake na must try daw dito sa Osaka. Itong 10 yen pancake na to, super soft niya and yummy niya talaga. So if you are a cheese lover like me, you'll definitely enjoy the generous amount that they provide. And so we met the Glico man here sa Dotonbori River. Pero as usual, marami nagpapapicture so we skipped this part na muna and we went shopping na agad-agad. So here sa Sanrio Gift Gate, andito yung mga pet na mga Junakis ko. So inuna ko muna namin dito. Then we decided to go back to our hotel to check in at Citadines. Citadines Namba is conveniently located and positioned in the heart of the Osaka activities. It is 10 to 12 minutes walk to Namba, Takashimaya, and about 5 minutes walk to Koroman Market, and about 15 to 20 minutes walk to Dotonbori. It is a spacious property as compared to other hotels in the area. It has complete amenities like the microwave, refrigerator, cutleries, and other cooking tools a room. There's also children's playroom, gym, residence corner, na may free coffee within the property. And there's also nearby areas for food. In the late afternoon of day 1, we were scheduled for Team Lab. Ito yung na-miss namin sa Tokyo, so hindi namin siya pinalampas dito sa Osaka. But gear up though for the cold weather kasi outdoor yung team lab dito sa Osaka kaya sobrang lamig. Kahit 3 patong with ultra-warm heat tech gumive up kasi almost 1.5 hours kang nasa labas, then mahangin pa siya. But still, I love lights and illumination, so kahit malamig, deadma kami kasi the park was really magical and fascinating. So back to our hotel's area within the Namba area, we found the yakiniku-like outlet, which is 3 minutes away from Citadines. So we had our dinner here before hitting the sack kasi madaling araw pa kaming gising. Kaya borlogs na sina uncle and auntie ng 10 p.m. So this is where our day 1 ended. Day 2 was spent on a Kyoto and Nara day tour that starts from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., which is also booked via Klook. We traveled to Kyoto for about an hour and a half while savoring the sweet and delicious strawberries sold by the tour guide on our way there. You guys should try the strawberries in Japan, it is incomparable. Our first destination is the Golden Pavilion Temple. This popular building has a stunning golden exterior with a perfect blend of Zen Buddhism and the traditional Japanese architecture. Super walk lang kami dito and picture taking, and since we're part of a tour, we were only given 30 minutes to stay in this location before proceeding to the next. The second location is a district on the western outskirts of Kyoto. On our walk going there, we stopped by the Salon de Real, which is a must-buy assorted chocolate and nuts that I super loved to snack on while I was there. Our next stop is at Arashiyama Bamboo Grove. We were grateful kasi hindi masyadong maraming tao kasi when we were there as compared to the past few days. Siguro kasi weekdays din kasi. So we were able to take nice pictures na wala masyadong tao sa background. Then we had our paid lunch at the guest house of Wasabi, which was offered by the tour guide. We loved the soup and the pork pero hindi kami masyadong nabusog. Yung ibang nasa tour, they tried having lunch sa neighboring restaurants. We were only given 1 hour lang din kasi, kaya we opted to stick to the tour guide's recommendation. After lunch, we went straight to Fushimi Inari Taisha. This is the head shrine of the Kami Inari and part of the Kyoto Prefecture. Inari Dao is the deity for good harvest and success in business. It is best known for the Red Torii Gates. And since gutom na nga kami, nag-food trip kami sa labas ng Fushimi Inari where we tried their wagyu steak and the large crab sticks. We traveled for an hour going to Nara Park and to Daiji Temple. We chose to go to Nara Park with the intention of feeding the deer. Pero ang naging ending, I feed my deer. Chos. Picture taking lang din and appreciating the beauty of the atmosphere of the Asian capital. So back to our hotel's vicinity, we passed by Matsunoya and Sundori kasi we like to try the tonkatsu in Japan. Ito so-so lang sa amin. We tasted something much better. Then on our walk going home, we appreciated the lights and the Christmas decorations in Namba Station that ended our day to escapade. We started very early on day 3 since our meetup time is at 7:15 a.m. to travel far to the northern Kyoto, starting with Kayabuki no Sato, where we had a stroll of the Miyama thatched-roof village. Miyama is a small rural village with a population of 3,600 people. It is known daw for its collection of 39 well-preserved thatched-roof farmhouses that has been surviving since the mid-19th century. Napaka-serene and peaceful ng place. May mga nakatira sa loob ng houses pero hindi sila lumalabas. And since maaga kami dumating doon, respect lang din and quiet lang kami lahat while taking pictures. The good thing about this tour is that it is not very popular, kaya there were only 16 of us exploring this wonderful place. Mahaba din yung biyahe namin around 2 hours din. Sobrang lamig din pala doon, 2 degrees Celcius siya, and since along the mountainside pa, kaya very chilly siya. After staying there for an hour and a half, we traveled to our lunch destination. On our way there, napansin namin na nagsusnow na sa North Kyoto. And since beside the waters din siya, very windy pa kaya lalong malamig. Then we had our lunch at Hashidate Daimaru Seaside Center as part of the tour package. Masarap yung food dito and very fresh yung seafood. Sobrang ganda din ng view for picture taking and to chill lang outside while having a hot coffee. May shops din sa property where you can buy food and souvenirs. Our next destination is in Funaya to take the Inebe sightseeing boat where we saw the fishing village. It is located in a remote village, then ang dami ding seagulls surrounding the boat. Pwede pala sila pakainin yung mga seagulls, guys. Parang snack ko yung snacks nila. So don't be mistaken ha, hindi yung chips para sa tao, para sa seagulls yun. Our last destination is at Amano Hashidate, or what they call the Heavens Bridge. There's a cable car with a choice of taking the single chair lift if you are 6 years old and above, and my choice din naman to take the monorail para safer. We chose the chair lift. Wala lang, for experience lang ba? Ang nakakaloka, wala siyang seatbelt, so behave lang, wag malikot. So Amano Hashidate is one of the country's top 3 scenic views daw. One of the main attractions here is the sandbar, which is 3.3 kilometers long and covered with 7,000 pine trees. Back to Osaka, and because sobrang lamig na kami, we tried the famous Kinrei ramen sa Dotonbori, yung may dragon na signage doon. Mga around 30 minutes din kami nag-queue up. We love the ramen here din kasi you can put kimchi and other spices din, pero mas bet ni pare yung ichiran. So this, my friends, ended our day 3. Part of our tradition while traveling as a couple is trying the McDonald's in each country we visit to immerse and differentiate the flavors. And we made that happen on day 4 breakfast before our trip to Kobe. Around 30 to 40 minutes lang yung train ride from Osaka to Kobe. Dito sa trip na to, pinaka-excited kami actually kasi pareho kaming mahilig sa steak and Kobe is the home to the world's best Wagyu beef. So our free and easy day at Kobe started with a stroll at the Kobe Harborland. We love this place kasi hindi siya congested. Konti lang yung mga tao and tourists, kaya masarap mag-pictures, mag-shopping, and mag-try ng iba't ibang food. Sobrang scenic din ang views, kaya very relaxing din mag-hangout around the area. Since our lunch reservation is at 1 p.m., we went straight ahead to Kobe Steak Ishida Honten. If you want to try out the best quality of beef sa Kobe, you have to make your reservations 2 to 4 weeks in advance. We started with an appetizing dish of ham and salmon. Then we were served the most tender and succulent premium beef with A5 marbling via a teppanyaki setting. He'll also give you a salad while the master chef cooks the beef for you, depending on the doneness that you prefer. Sobrang sarap ng steak dito, guys. For Jay, this is the best steak yet that he has tasted. For me naman, Thai naman siya with Hama Steak Tokyo that I've tried. Masarap din yung alcoholic drinks nila. The service is also superb and special, so highly recommended namin tong restaurant na to. They even served us lime ice cream and coffee to wrap up our experience. Next in our bucket list is to visit the Nunobiki Herb Garden. We took a ropeway cable car going up and down the mountain. During that time, a winter weekday, the cable car is only available until 4:30 p.m. There are other visitors who took a one-way ticket lang, and they walk down na lang so they can fully explore the garden. But for auntie and uncle, we opted for the two-way ticket. There's a spectacular view of the city, the mountains. You'll also see the waterfalls. And at the top of the mountain, there are actually restaurants and shops that sells Christmas decorations and the herb garden produce that you can bring home. This place is very beautiful and picturesque. There's even a glass house that has hanging herbs and Christmas decorations. And there is also a coffee shop to hang out overlooking the panoramic view of Kobe City. Our trip in Kobe is truly gastronomic and very visually satisfying. So back to Osaka, we tried the revolving sushi bar near our hotel called Kura Sushi. This is the first time where we never had any encounter with a live person, from reserving a seat to ordering, clearing up our dishes and payments. All are actually done via their system. This is a very happy ending to our day 4. We woke up late than usual on day 5 and we started by exploring the Kuromon Market, which is only 5 minutes away from Citadines. It opens from 8 or 9 a.m. depending on the stores until 6 p.m. This is a very popular fish market in Osaka that sells meat and produce, fresh seafood, fruits, and purveying local delicacies and street food. We were attracted to try the fried sweet potatoes and to dine in to one of the stores selling the fresh, huge, and very satisfying Alaskan crab. In fairness, super malaman siya, malasa, and very fresh. So next in our itinerary is to visit the Osaka Castle. So this castle is one of Japan's most famous landmarks that played an important role in the Japanese unification. The entire castle covers about 2 kilometers of green space, sports facilities, multi-purpose arena, and others. There is an admission fee to enter the castle, so my suggestion is to purchase the ticket online before coming in to avoid the long queues. The architecture is truly magnificent. It houses the history of Hideyoshi Toyotomi, who is a powerful feudal lord and warrior. On top of the floor, there's a stunning view of the surrounding areas and the cityscape. There are also artifacts detailing the extensive history of Osaka and the castle itself. So, we took some pictures when we got out, so walang masyadong tao sa background. So that's a good tip. On our exit, we intended to visit the Graham Pancake. Graham kasi originated in Osaka, so might as well try the home country's flavorful souffle pancakes. Going back to the Dotonbori area, we tried the takoyaki, which is Osaka's most well-loved dishes and really a must-eat when you're there. It is crunchier on the outside and flaming hot and tender on the inside, so be very careful with it. And because this is our last full day, we queued back na naman sa Ichiran Ramen for about 40 minutes kasi addicted talaga dito si Jay. After some souvenir shoppings, we decided to call it a night at Dotonbori River with a good beer and grill. This is a good cap off to our vacation kahit sobrang lamig. But the time we spent together, catching up and getting to know each other at this time in our lives, bring back the memories and feelings of our youth and the day that we met. Thank you for this much needed bonding, my love. Until our next trip.